All right, I think this is the first time, believe it or not, that I've filmed during the rain. I don't know if that might sound, I mean, obviously I don't have like a shotgun mic in here or like a lav mic. So the audio is not great to begin with, but raining and wipers also may not be beneficial for the auditory experience of this. But if you can't listen to it, then don't. I cannot make you. So unless you really want to hear what I have to say about the Golden State Warriors, that's what we're talking about today. And as I'm thinking about it, like, Golden State's in that position where many teams have been before, where it's like, oh man, if they added one more like legitimate piece, they are a championship contender. And a lot of teams, it seems like, I don't know if it's just like they have faith in their roster and think like guys who need to step up will step up. But I feel like there are front offices that don't recognize the ceiling of their team, and so they kind of keep it the same with, the idea that they'll win a championship with the roster as is. And, Milwaukee was that for, a couple years. And then they made the move to get Jrue Holiday. Wins a championship. Obviously the Kevin Durant shoe size thing, whatever. That aside, they make the big move, they win a championship. Toronto Raptors, perennial playoff team, decide to, cut ties with hometown. Can you be a hometown hero if you're not from there? But he's like, whatever. The fan favorite DeMar DeRozan gets traded for Kawhi Leonard. What happens? Toronto wins a championship. And that's just like, that's the formula now, Lakers, can't say they were not on the cusp, but they had LeBron. Bring in Anthony Davis. What do? They win a championship. And so, okay, what we have is a trend here now, folks. We have a pattern. And there, I would put like Utah in that like discussion there. Like, I don't know if Utah is gonna ever win a championship as is, barring injuries and whatnot. And I honestly think Golden State, even if Klay Thompson is 100%, still does not have, a roster that can win a title. And I would love to see, a Curry, Thompson, Draymond team run it back. Draymond is not the guy that he was when they won a title without KD. I think people forget how much he actually scored in those finals. Like, he could actually score like 20 points if need be. And I don't know if he eclipsed 20 points all of last season. Obviously, leadership, intangible, still there with Draymond. And I think the thing about Klay, so he's, projected to return Christmas Day. And I think a guy like that, like, the shooting's going to be there. We'll see about confidence, where he's at there. I mean, he hasn't played in a very long time, you have to remember. I wouldn't be surprised to see some rust. I do think, as good as a shooter as Klay Thompson is, I think, obviously we forget sometimes, well, not obviously, but I think we forget sometimes how good a defender he was too. And he almost is more valuable as a lockdown defender for this Warriors team than he is as a shooter, because if you can't defend anyone, especially come playoff time, like, it's not going to happen. I mean, this was a team without Klay Thompson that lost in the play-in tournament to the Memphis Grizzlies. So that just gives you kind of some insight into where we're at without Curry, Thompson, because obviously Draymond can't carry a team. So the thing is, now they have assets. They have Wiseman, they have Kuminga, they have even like a Jordan Poole, they have Wiggins, who really consistent, like weirdly consistent, just never blossomed into like the next LeBron James or whatever, but still solid. Lot of money, unfortunately, on his contract, so it makes him a little bit, harder to move. But if you need to pad, like if you need to catch a big fish, he's good to like even salary out, and then you throw in picks, or you throw in Wiseman, you throw in Kuminga, you throw in Moody. Because like, listen, this is not a team that's like trying to pass the torch from Curry, Thompson, Draymond to Moody, Kuminga, and Wiseman. Like that's like the timeline's all messed up there. Like you have Steph Curry, you extended him for $1 gajillion. Like you have to go out and give him a team that is going to compete for a title every year. And no disrespect to those guys, I think. I mean, I don't know what's stopping what's going to happen to them as to what happened with Wiseman, where it's like he's a top pick, he's on a win now team, and like the expectations are going to be different, and there's not going to be a lot of leeway for him to grow. And the weird thing is about like last season with Wiseman is like, all right, he gets taken out because like whatever, he's not playing well, but it's like, who else are you going to put in for him at this? Like the Warriors are very thin at at the center position, and so like I don't know why they didn't just let him kind of trip, fall, get his feet a little bit more, because obviously he's a little bit raw. He's not kind of like you just plug and play kind of guy. So we'll see year 2. I mean, maybe they're looking at see what Wiseman looks like, see what Moody, Kuminga look like first half of the season, and then deal them mid-season. And then you have, new additions, Iguodala, Otto Porter. Like, it's one of those things where Iguodala makes sense because, he's coming back to the team that he won a finals MVP for, which is actually crazy when you think about. Otto Porter, on a vet min deal, you can kind of roll the dice on him. I don't know what to expect from Otto Porter, to be honest with you. I don't know if anyone does at this point. If he's like what Otto Porter can be and has been for like a brief period of time in his career, then that would be very good as just like a 3-and-D guy, good size on the perimeter. Yeah, that would be huge. Andy Iguodala, they both add length, add kind of some grit, which I think this team, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. It's just like we're in a position, Golden State, where if you don't make a move, you're wasting years off of one of the best point guards of all time, mixed with arguably one of the best shooters of all time, and one of the best you can't call Draymond a role player. One of the best Draymond's like one of the best I don't know what Draymond's the best of. Like he's kind of a mystery in terms of like what he is just in general. He's the guy. So they have a window with the three of them. Draymond's, I would say, is past his prime. Curry clearly still has it. This whole season, he was pretty much proving that he still has it. What Klay has left remains to be seen. But if Klay is even, 80% of what he was, like this team has a legitimate shot and kind of needs to make a move. Ben Simmons has been floated out there a lot. I don't think that solves their problems. Even if they got him somehow without, like if it was Curry, Klay, Ben Simmons, Draymond, and some random. That's a weird team right there, and it's very like it's like everyone specializes, and I don't know how it all mixes as a team, because like you can have a good individual defender, but he can't guard all 5 people at the same time. Like that doesn't cover your entire team's like defensive needs. So I don't love Ben Simmons there. I think Pascal Siakam also mentioned or rumored. I mean, at this point now, the Warriors seem to be rumored as a free agency destination and a trade destination for a lot of guys. Pascal maybe makes a little more sense. If you want to do small ball, put him at the 5, can shoot the ball a little bit, can defend, he's long. Every time I say that, it sounds like it's like fucked up, but you know what I mean. He has a long wingspan. He has long arms, which is good for defense. Gets in passing lanes. So I think, I don't know if you pull the trigger on Pascal. I do think at some point you got to pull the trigger on something. An all-star caliber player. Oh, Jesus, lead foot today. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Well, I just parked, so it can't fall down now. The point is, Golden State needs to make a move. Whether that is for, well, not Ben Simmons. Pascal Siakam, I think, makes sense. You need an all-star caliber player. Maybe someone becomes available, mid-season. Obviously, probably the Warriors are going to be kind of keeping tabs on that. But I think in terms of trade packages, it's going to be hard to compete with 3, first-round picks in Wiseman, Kuminga, and Moody. And then, Wiggins is kind of a plug-and-play guy who I guess just scores 20 points, like, no matter what team he's on, like, where he is. And there's a lot of value in that, actually. Like, there's some teams out there that could really use 20 points a night from their small forward shooting guard. So it's going to be hard to compete with that package. It's just a matter of finding the right fit, because Draymond can't shoot, Steph can't defend, Clay can't dribble or won't dribble. Not that that's really a weakness, but like Clay's not a facilitator. We'll say Clay can't facilitate. And so they kind of all work together, but you need some complementary pieces there that to kind of round out a starting 5. And these rookie guys I don't think will cut it. So that's that. Let me know if you agree or you think this Golden State team's going straight to the top. I've no idea, obviously. But that's that. Sorry about the rain. Nothing I could do. You got to argue with the guy upstairs. So take care of yourselves. Take it easy. And I'll see you next time.